Cancer, Cancer Rising, and Cancer Moon people, this is your astrological forecast for the month of November 2016. And of course, those of you who may not already know, I'll just remind you again, horoscopes on the weekly formats now include astrology as well, just so everybody knows. The first half of the weekly horoscopes are all astrology, and then cards are in the second half, so now there's a little bit of everything for everyone. And they will be including aspects that are more unique to that week, not so much the big seasonal changes you would normally see in, again, a monthly horoscope format such as this. And of course, if you want to get a reading into your own personal questions, intentions, or unique situation, you should probably get a session with me at integrativemysticism.com. So, what is going on with your November Cancer? Well, we've got a lot of focus in the very beginning of the month on your intimacy zone and on your, I guess you could say, your extra earnings, with Mars, the planet of action, passion, and energy, moving into Aquarius, your 8th house. And when Mars, the planet of passion, moves into a zone that governs intimacy, it's time to kind of think about enjoying being a little bit more carnal with our partners. In fact, actually, the celebration of the human form is a big part of Mars in the 8th house anyway, which could actually be very nice, very hot and very steamy, and at the risk of sounding too smutty, very sexy with you and a sweetheart or even a new potential partner during this month. Now the thing about Mars is that Mars is definitely a planet that pushes personal boundaries. Where have we been too reserved? Where may we be withholding or overindulging in things that, in ways that are unbalanced with our intimacy or with our sensuality? These are the things that we're going to remedy. If it's not enough, we're going to get it some. And if it's way too much or way too important, we're going to bring that back to, you know, a more grounded and conscious place. But either way, we're still going to be having a lot of fun. This is also a time to pay attention to what's going on with your finances as it comes from money outside your hourly or salary income. So this could be tips, commissions, this could be bonuses, incentive programs, this could be your personal business. But what happens with Mars is that money comes in fast, but if we're not careful, it can also go out really fast. And that has a lot to do with the fact that it's kind of like the wind. It's going to be blowing really, really fast. You're only going to feel it when it's coming and going. The important thing to understand is moderation when it comes to the amount of money that you're getting in. Keep more than you spend this month. On the 11th, we do have Venus moving into Capricorn, your 7th house of committed partnerships and one-on-one relationships. And this is talking about bringing a lot of affection back to your tightest one-on-one relationships. Not just romantic ones, but also to your BFF, your business partner, roommates, everyone you share a lot of that one-on-one time with is going to be benefiting from this energy. And Venus is talking about, again, affection and bringing people closer. How do we make this bond tighter? How do we increase the loyalty? How do we increase the sense of devotion? How do we increase the sense of mutual committed support here? Venus is going to be making everyone more inclined to participate in this energy from the 12th all the way through that first week of December. So it's a long aspect, but a harmonious one at that. On the 12th, we've got Mercury moving into Sagittarius. And this is your 6th house. This is the area that talks about your work, your reputation, your schedule, but also about your health. And when Mercury goes in here, it's definitely putting most of its focus on the physical health. The 6th house is on the mind-body axis in the astrology chart. So whenever Mercury goes into one of these areas, we're definitely getting down to the nitty-gritty and seeing where we can make some improvements there. Now, if you have been already trying to work on health improvements, whether it's slim down, bulk up, change your diet, maybe break a bad habit, this is definitely where we're going to start seeing faster payoffs. Even if you haven't considered actually doing something different with a diet or exercise routine, you know, from the 12th all the way up again through the end of the month, long aspect, you're going to be seeing faster results than normal. I tend to like Mercury in the 6th house. Heck, I even like Mercury retrograde in the 6th house, because I always tend to drop a good 5 or 6 pounds, you know, in that 3 weeks, which is never a bad thing. So, moving right along, we do also have this Mercury energy kind of working over the speed and the pace of your work schedule. Things are going to get very busy for you this month, but also at the same time, we're kind of surrounding you with a more supportive team, which I think is actually going to be quite beneficial to you. You might be actually noticing some of the people that you're working with on a regular basis are kind of shuffling about. If there are any coworkers or colleagues that, you know, you wish kind of would maybe up and get themselves replaced, this is the month where most likely we are going to see, again, more of a shuffle in the ranks. On the 14th of the month, we do have a full moon occurring in Taurus, which is actually your 11th house of friendships and social networking. And that's also heavily influencing, you know, again, the shuffling about of the ranks that is surrounding you. Because we may actually be seeing this culmination in your social life, whether it be professional or your personal social life. We could be releasing some friendship connections during this month, especially between the 14th and the 28th. And usually this is something that, again, is either strictly professional or strictly platonic, so I don't want anyone to rush to any conclusions and think I'm talking about romantic relationships or big family estrangements. No, that's not what this area is about. And this full moon does say, you know, again, this could be something that you do see coming, or a friendship that you've been already kind of considering giving a bit of a release, you know, letting it go, moving it out of your space. And, you know, looking at this full moon, it might actually be something where we have to actually just kind of accept where this person and ourselves, you know, have not grown together. We've grown apart. On the 19th of the month, we've got Neptune turning direct in your 9th house of higher spiritual learning, higher academia, multicultural exposure, and multicultural awareness. And when Neptune is in this area, it's definitely taking on more of those spiritual, cultural, and psychological aspects, focusing more of its energies in that region of the 9th house. Because the 9th house is a pretty big place, you know, depending on what's planets there. It's running, you know, school, it's running your, you know, international travel, it's all over the place. But when Neptune is direct here, we're definitely talking about maybe even how we connect to our cultural roots, or if we still resonate with them. And when Neptune turns direct, even those of you who might not necessarily consider yourselves wholly involved with a spiritual practice, maybe you consider yourself to be a bit more on the agnostic side or on the deist side of things, may actually find yourselves in with a new spiritual path or practice that you kind of take on just as a personal discipline. And some of you, after the wake of this Neptune retrograde over the last 5 months, may find yourselves kind of growing out of, in a way, growing out of a culture or a religion or a spiritual practice that you've either been raised into or maybe you've spent a lot of time with lately. What's important to understand is that when Neptune is direct in this area, that we do not allow ourselves to kind of fall into a guru trap, whether it's trying to become a guru or trying to find a guru, because the age of the guru is over. It's really okay. I mean, it's okay if you want to take on a mentor and be the apprentice, or you want to be the student as a teacher, but a guru is something else, and that is going out of style. On the 11th, we do have the Sun moving into Sagittarius, again, that 6th house of daily work and reputation. And this is definitely more about the financial aspect that comes out of this area. And with the Sun, we're talking about, again, getting more out of the workplace, workspace, or work schedule. And this may actually be a time where you're noticing your work obligations or the projects or the problems that you've been dealing with of late are starting to kind of be reorganized or delegated elsewhere, and you are given a brand new kind of fresh start or clean slate at work. And this could be a clean slate in the form of a new job even, either within the same company or perhaps even with a boss or a company you've worked with previous. because of this new moon that's also going to be popping up just a little over a week later on the 29th in the same area. And for those of you who are job hunters, this is definitely the month where we are going to see an opportunity to nail that down. So that is your forecast, Cancer. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, if you would like to get a session with me, you can always go to my website, integrativemysticism.com, or just follow the links below. I'll talk to you later.